So today we are going to be talking about Yule. Yule is basically our pagan Wiccan Christmas. Now, if I do pull out papers, sorry, this is just like all the notes I have written down for this video specifically. Yule is also called the winter solstice. It actually happens tomorrow, if you do watch this today, or on December 21st. However, there are 13 days of Yule, so you can start it early or late if you want. However, we are just going to go over like our basic things and starting with deities that Yule has. So basic Yule deities are deities like the Egyptian god Horus or the Norse goddess Freya. Freya. You can consider it Freya. A lot of people say Freya now. The Norse god Odin as well. The Greek god Demeter, the Celtic goddess Bera, and the Norse god Balder. And there is, however, a Roman goddess named Bona Dea that is also for this if you follow Roman pantheons, and a Greek goddess, which I'm sure you know is Demeter. So a little bit of background history about this. What I have at least is it began on Nuremberg, and they burned this Yule log that they made, which I will also tell you how to make later on in this video. They commonly they got a Yule log, which is a normal log between 14 to 18 inches, and then they would spread meat or oil or like not necessarily holy, but plants and herbs associated with Yule into this log, and then they would burn it at the end of Yule to celebrate the sun coming back. Now that they had added all their things, they would scatter the ashes around their home, and that would kind of be for protection. It was a pagan tradition that after you would burn your Yule log, you would take the ashes, because it had so many other properties with different herbs and different things in it, that it would be enough for protection stuff. So they would spread the ashes around their house, in front of their doors, or in front, like a little bit near their windows, etc. You can also remember to make Yule cookies. I think I have the recipe for that somewhere, but remember that you can always go on Google and look up some Yule recipes. You can also do Yule rituals. What I personally do for Yule is I will decorate my altar, which my altar is a little different than other people's altars. I have a wreath, kind of like a wreath on top of it, and then like a Christmas tree, which is also a Yule tree if you think about it, back to traditional things. I also have a little Odin statue on there, as well as some other things, and snow water. But some things that you might want to add to your own personal altar at home for Yule is to hang some holly above it, or a handmade wreath. Handmade wreaths are not that hard. You can go to the dollar store and get like a little wreath thing, pick out some things that look more holiday-like, and set it up. Otherwise, you can just go out into the nature and get some pine cones or pine needles, some holly, and etc., and make your own wreath with it. You can use birch branches, which are a holy thing, or a thing associated with Yule is birch, to make a balsam. Your balsam will come in handy for the next, when the wheel turns again to symbolic, this balsam will come in handy. Hence why I suggest making this balsam at Yule. You also might want to add some yellow candles for the sun god that is coming back, or the sun is coming back. You want to add evergreens, or of course you can add your Yule log to your altar. And what I like to do personally is I like to grab a little offering bowl. This has some stuff in it right now, but this is like my little offering bowl. And you can put walnuts and apples and like cinnamon sticks in there as a offering to your deity for Yule. You can also, like I said, you can also add a vial or jar of snow water if you get snow. And make sure to add some bells around your altar, as they do help drive away evil spirits. Ooh, my hair is funky. I am sorry. On to other things. I think I crossed the deities, but I didn't really cross the sacred plants part of that. The sacred plants are evergreen, mistletoe, birch, like I said, for the balsam, oak, which I guess you could also use for your balsam, yew, and holly. The holiday incense, or which you can use as incense that for Yule, are frankincense, cinnamon, and myrrh. And the colors are red, white, and green, also gold for the sun. So there are all kinds of different prayers and things that you can do, and I have one prayer on here that I would like to share with you as well, or one thing you can say at Yule when you are burning your Yule log, as well as the Yule log and how to do it. The Yule log is an activity you can do with kids as long as you don't let them touch that hot glue gun. Or if you want to try to do it without hot glue, I always approve of that. So the Yule prayer that we have is Almighty Goddess, in silvery ice, watch over us as we sleep. A layer. I'm gonna start this over. My bad. Hopefully you guys have patience with me. You probably do because, well, yeah. Almighty Goddess in silvery ice, watching over us as we sleep. A layer of shining white, covering the earth each night. Frost on the world and in our soul. We thank you for visiting us. Because of you, we seek warmth in the comfort of our homes and hearths. I would say this typically more than once, just because that's what I do. I also like to cleanse. What you can do is Yule has a lot of like cinnamon stick things. What you can do is you can create your own smudging stick with cinnamon, and use that and kind of go around your house and sage and smudge your house with a cinnamon stick, as well as saying this. Again, I will repeat it. O mighty goddess, in silvery ice, watching over us as we sleep, a layer of shining white, covering the earth each night. Frost on the world and in our soul, we thank you for visiting us. Because of you, we seek warmth in the comfort of our homes and hearths. So that's something that I commonly do as well. Typically, I do this before I invite people over for my Yule celebration. Another thing that you can do for Yule is I make ham. I also make a crap ton of cookies. Like I said, it's essentially the pagan Christmas. So kind of add all of your Christmas things, or what you think is Christmas, into these traditions. It's Christmas traditions come from pagan traditions. And now we go on to how to make your Yule log. Sadly, I don't have a log to show you. Otherwise, I would gladly do this and show you guys how to do this. You are going to need a log that is around 15 to 19 inches long. You're going to need pine cones, dried berries, mistletoe, holly, pine needles, and ivy. You're going to need some feathers, some cinnamon sticks, ribbon, and a glue gun or glue, depending on what you want to do. Again, this is a child-friendly thing, so if you have children, this is something you can do with your children. So what you're going to do is you want to take your log and you wrap it loosely with ribbon, making sure there are little spaces in between so you can stuff your birch or your oak, your mistletoe, your holly, and everything else into this. And then you would put the choppings, or, the mistletoe, holly, pine needles, and ivy under the ribbon along with the feathers. And now that you have all of that set up, it should look decent, and you can start gluing on pine cones, cinnamon sticks, and berries, or just carefully placing them on if you want. You can also add candles around this, or candles in your log if you choose to do that. Sorry for the little burpees. Excuse me, I think they're hiccups. Never mind. And hopefully this will help you with some of your Yule things. I know it wasn't that long of a video, and I know it doesn't cover necessarily everything about Yule, but it is a quick overview of Yule, especially since Yule is coming up very soon. When Embolic comes around, I will hopefully have a bigger, more thorough definition of Embolic, and I will put up, hopefully I will be back to putting up videos every week about some kind of lesson. And for February 2nd, of course, that is Embolic. That is the next wheel. That is the next holiday. And I will hopefully have another holiday lesson then, or a few days before then. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again. Please subscribe and like if you liked this video.